enough.
What if episode 3 were good? Like, real?
What if episode 3 was good?
Good question.
How would Darth Vader become Darth Vader? How would the...
Good. What if we return to the same hypothetical universe where I'm a story executive?
These wacky guys and their intros or lack thereof.
We're just going to make sure that episode 3 is a little better than what we got.
Okay.
And while working on this trilogy, there would...
Look at the date.
I'm looking at the date.
We had to wait that long.
2 years.
Yeah.
And 2 days.
4
And
months
the big question
in
that
2 years.
dictated
2
a
years, 4
lot of
months.
what I
That's
did.
crazy.
What purpose should the prequels serve? And that answer stems from how you watch the films. If you're watching them in the order in which they were released, then the prequels can be granted a fair
That's
amount of
normally
fan
how
service.
you do
But if you view them as the numbers would suggest, sequentially 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, then those moments of fan service are in fact detrimental to the overall story of the later saga. If you see the birth of Luke and Leia, or if you see Vader's suit, it's no surprise.
What about the Grimace
when,
thing we
oh my
saw?
God, Vader's Luke's father, or
Where's your explanation on that?
we're now
Very
adding
detrimental.
characters for these monumental moments, which diminishes the
What if Meat Canyon
monumentalness
didn't turn your
of the
stomach?
moments. So for that very
What if?
reason, when
We're going to
Disney
McDonald's
decided
after
to
this.
pursue the tail end of things, I decided,
Then we're gonna go
well,
get Spring for some
nice, but that
Cheetos.
fan service, it's just gotta go. So, sorry, we're not gonna be seeing Luke and Leia called by name, and
We're
we're
gonna-
certainly not gonna be seeing Vader's suit. So, recognizing
Lame.
that some of those
Why
things are
not?
happening, let's dive into this what if.
Let's find out, Dan.
I had a hard time with the whole premise that
Starting from
Bail
something-
Organa was like Padme's brother. I was like, it would explain a lot as far as passing a kid on, but
Yeah.
if you want to hide somebody, hide him with the stranger.
I mean, he wasn't in 1. He was in 2
He was in
briefly.
2, yeah.
And then he was more or less of a side character to help Yoda in 3.
Yeah.
Basically, those 3 were just sitting there, and it's like, I will take the boy to his home, to Tatooine. No, I've always wanted a little girl. She will be loved.
Should be taken care of. Okay, cool. Take the baby.
Kinda
Should
weird.
we get the baby name?
But the title overall, things are basically the same. We're in the midst of the Clone Wars, General Grievous is running the show, but rather than immediately catching up with our boys as they rescue the Chancellor, I'm shifting the setting a bit as they're storming a separatist base on Utapau. Above all else, should feel fun and show that one, the Republic is definitely winning in this war, and 2, again, Obi-Wan and Anakin work really well together. Because, like I said in episode 2, we have to see what it is that we're losing when this friendship falls apart. So they win, hurrah! And now we're reintroduced to 2 more familiar faces, with Padme being piloted in by Owen to officiate terms of surrender. And at night, we see all 4 of them discussing what the future holds once this war is over. Owen talks about how he can't wait to live it up in Coruscant. Obi-Wan discusses how he's looking to further his training and the training of the Jedi. Padme is looking to strengthen the Senate to ensure that this sort of fracturing and war never happens again. And Anakin? Well, we've seen from that previous battle that he's clearly more capable as far as combat is concerned, but we also learn that he's been pouring himself into his studies of all things dealing with the Force, because he wants nothing more than to sit on the Jedi Council, but has been rejected 3 times so far. This conversation basically clues our audience into where all of our
Damn you,
characters
Simon
are.
Cowell.
Let us know about all the things that none of them are going to get, because things are just going to get worse, but they haven't done that yet. And so, happy fun times.
Was that his best C-3PO impression? Happy fun times.
Man, oh man.
Master
General
Luke?
Grievous is fucking pissed. And
As
this
he
is
should.
I don't know about you, Senator George's episode. Really disappointed
Hold
with
on.
Grievous, because he seems like he would be a really good character. And apparently
Capable of rotating 360 degrees on a
If you
track.
haven't done the summer reading of watching the animated miniseries,
Yeah, I know.
then you're only seeing a neutered fraction of the character, which is absolutely
Tea, please, sir?
the antagonist of the film. I mean, Boba Fett was also
Tea, Mr. Brave
For the
Guy?
holiday special?
but he's still got a proper introduction in Empire. It just really bothers me that Grievous is supposed to.
All right, let's see what it says. Each 6-fingered arm.
Yeah. No, I was saying joints capable of rotating 360 degrees can attack with as many as 20 strikes per second.
Dang.
Seriously, he'll kill you dead, and it's pointing to his pelvis.
Pow!
Pow!
To be a badass, but everything we see in the film begs to differ. Mace Windu even has a line that says General Grievous will run and hide like he always does. Like he always does? I'm fixing it. It's okay. Let's move on.
Okay.
So Grievous is pissed and the Separatist leaders are scared, and Sidious is like, guys, relax. The Republic may be hitting hard, but they're also spreading themselves way thin and leaving themselves super exposed. Grievous? Go for the heart, and my main man Maul will back you up in your endeavors. And as Sidious ends hey, buddy. Super cool that you're running this whole war puppet show thing. But we've got that whole unfinished business about Obi-Wan and how I really want to kill him. So can we like make that happen sooner than later? And Sidious is like, hey dude,
No, that's a project for another.
All those loose ends are going to be tied up real soon. And from there, we bounce to the Jedi Temple, where we see
It's episode 4.
Not receiving the rank of Jedi Master. And this time, Anakin doesn't.
There's too many motherfucking Jedi on this motherfucking council.
Enough!
Why is he being passed over when people who are...
Because it's Easter,
God. He is being
Before
granted a seat at the council. And Mace Windu's like, whoa, slow your arrogant roll there, buddy. I'm sensing a
Young
great amount of
babyface
anger.
Skywalker.
Obi-Wan, who now sits on the council, tries to go to bat for Anakin. And is like, well, you know...
He seems
I'd
not very
be
comfortable.
too if I kept getting rejected without an explanation. At which point Mace turns to Obi-Wan and says,
Shut
you promised Qui-Gon that you would train Anakin in the ways of a Jedi, and you have. But there was no part of that promise that meant that we had to grant him the rank of Jedi Master.
What?
This is a huge bomb for Anakin, because you have to
No.
remember...
You know how that slaughter anybody else.
Become a Jedi Master and sit on the council?
Hans Von-
granted him a
Die
huge
Hard.
amount of freedom.
He's
But
falling off
suddenly,
the top of his
there's a
glasses.
ceiling. And what's
Christmas tree.
Or RoboCop.
in his eyes is an exchange of ownership. So the whole idea that they were friends or brothers almost was all just a lie.
You were never my friend.
That's sting.
So basically, he's realizing that he's being seen as like property of the Jedi, back to a slave.
So now Anakin, completely humiliated,
Baby, wait, no!
I need an explanation. Your lightsaber ain't purple, son.
And Anakin's like, I'm
Gone.
sorry, I don't want to talk about anything right now. I just gotta get out of here. And Padme tries to cheer him up, but at that moment, Obi-Wan...
Liar!
Anakin hightails out of there, not wanting to talk with him at all. Obi-Wan asks Padme if maybe she can talk to Anakin and smooth things over.
Early's
because he knows
face
that
is
she will
death
have
choke.
close. Padme says she will, but at the moment she wants to grant Anakin his privacy, and so she'll just
Customer
go on back
sprays
to the center.
water.
Naturally, were Anakin to have a little more time to process this, or Padme to talk to him, things most likely would be okay. But time is not on the side of our heroes, as General Grievous and his Separatist fleet jump out of Lightspeed just
Fake
before
horse.
us. So now we have a perfect opportunity
Coruscant.
his badass as he crashes his ship into the Senate, taking hostages and slaying guards left and right. And if we wanted to be especially brutal to showcase a point like this, we could have a situation where like a Jedi comes up trying to defend some senators or something, and he manages to slice off one of General Grievous's hands, only to then be punched completely through with the singed metal, which admittedly might be a little too much, but it'd be really cool. In the midst of this,
And then you
chaos,
say
Mars
that
runs
I
into
just have
Padme,
collection.
and Padme is helping Chancellor Palpatine escape and stays back to provide cover fire with the security detail. Despite this, Palpatine still gets scooped up by droids who take off with their precious hostage, only to be pursued by some incoming Jedi. And as they fly after the Chancellor, Obi-Wan tries to reconcile with Anakin, but Anakin doesn't want to hear any of it. He just wants to rescue the
Anakin, you turn off your
Chancellor
comms.
from
Is everything okay?
the Council. And we
Fine.
can see right here that Anakin's view
Not
is
sure
starting to
your
shift.
location.
He's thinking less about the big picture
I was thinking
and more
paralleling
just
with
about
Luke.
himself. So now we find ourselves in a
Trench
very
run.
similar
Oh.
situation as episode 3. But rather
Aw.
than facing off against Dooku, it's Maul. Obi-Wan and Maul have obvious history together, but now Anakin also is a horse in this race, as he was previously humiliated by Maul, and his present anger at the Jedi Council
once again.
only fuel his fury. However, now, the
Sorry,
two are
kid.
fighting very different fights. One for justice, and one for glory. They aren't fighting in sync like we previously saw, leading to several instances where they're more hindrance than help. But while things look dire for a moment,
You were
the
banished
two
'cause you were
manage to
clumsy.
pull it together and ultimately stand victorious
Man.
over the bested Maul. And that's when Palpatine issues the command,
Do it.
kill him. And it's at that moment that Maul's like, oh shit.
You sneaky little so-and-so.
If this were Obi-Wan from a movie ago, man, Maul won't be dead like that. But Obi-Wan has grown and is no longer seeking revenge. So he turns to Palpatine and says, no, he must stand trial. And truthfully, in this...
Alright.
Right.
Hey, you gonna put handcuffs on him?
So, have you ever watched SPD?
Yes.
Did you watch it all the way to the very end,
No.
the finale? Alright. So, you know how the main bad guy has like one horn here?
Right.
And Doggy, like in their like first real battle, cut off the other one.
Mhm.
They pretty much did the same thing, where it's like, Doggy, kill him! Or they didn't say kill, it's a Power Ranger show. They
Right.
didn't say kill him. But it's basically the same thing.
Finish it.
and he came up with the sword, and he cut off the other one. He's like, now they match.
He's as big as he can be. He's bested the man who killed his master, and he's bested his emotions. And Palpatine's like, hey,
Come on,
that's
man.
super great and all.
They say his
yeah,
what grew 3 times that day?
should stand trial. But hey, Anakin, why don't you
He's
kill him?
hard.
And Anakin's like, no, I can't do that.
The entire time, Obi-Wan and Emperor are like, yeah. Obi-Wan, Anakin's just like battering. I got
And
this.
that's when Palpatine really
He didn't even finish the sentence and his head splits.
You see his boots scraping the metal floor.
Bureaucracy will just gnaw down his inevitable fate. The Separatists will undoubtedly break him free, and he will strike back 1,000 times more furious. You can't let that happen, Anakin. Think of all those you hold dear who will pay the price. Think of your wife. To which Obi-Wan's like, "Oh, and since Obi-Wan is our main character in this film, it only makes sense that the audience, like the case with Luke, makes this
At the
massive
same time,
statement
yes.
At the same time.
Whoops.
So we all get to say,
What?
Obi-Wan is stunned and hurt by this secret, but still reaches out to his conflicted friend. Anakin, think about this. This is not the way of a Jedi Master. To which Anakin replies,
Like that.
"I'm
Not a
defeated,
master.
but I'll never be Jedi Master.
Ba, ba, ba,
Will
ba.
I?" And he force pushes Obi-Wan out of the way. As Obi-Wan falls to the ground, he force pulls Anakin's lightsaber away right as he's about to
Yeah,
strike,
fuck.
leaving Anakin completely disarmed and full of rage.
2
like-
pimp slaps.
And it's at this point that Palpatine knows who his next apprentice will be. And from there, we bounce back to the Jedi Temple.
So basically, he
where
just chucks him out.
Council's None too happy with Anakin. And they're like, yo, dude, remember how we were trying to find a
No,
Sith
yo,
who was
duh.
controlling the
Close
Senate?
enough.
We just killed the one dude who might have known who that was. You, sir, are out.
Hey.
Anakin finds himself
You
spiraling,
are the
and
weakest
there's
link.
nothing that Obi-Wan can
Goodbye.
do, only putting a further wedge between the two. So Anakin leaves the temple completely dejected, only to be greeted by Palpatine.
Yay.
My boy, don't you worry about those Jedi. You've shown a great amount of dedication to the Republic, and you've sent a very strong message by killing that savage.
And you don't have any asthma.
You want to know how I'm going to reward you? You're going to get the job that I
Yeah.
previously had, which actually
Your promotion.
makes you in charge of the Jedi. What do you think about that? Pretty sweet deal, huh? You see, while I don't think that George's introduction of Sith lore is a bad idea by any means, I think it's more fun if Anakin's seduction of the dark side is a little more subverted.
Yeah, more or
so
less
instead of
shit the
Palpatine
bed.
being like, did you hear that the dark side is pretty fucking cool? We're getting, hey, that thing you did, embracing the dark side, was pretty great. Maybe if you started embracing the dark side more, you'd be even greater. Huh? Huh? And now that Palpatine
Want
is
a cookie?
to twist the knife and tell Anakin that sadly, during the attack, Padme was taken hostage by the Separatists. And now on Mustafar, we see General Grievous meeting the hostages. Padme calls out that the Republic won't stand for this, and they should surrender now or face death. And Grievous says, however things go now, those hostages shouldn't plan on leaving here alive. At which point, Padme turns to Owen and is like, okay, so the new plan is escape. Cutting now to the Jedi Temple, we
How is
see
that nothing
Anakin
to touch him
in
with?
meeting with the Jedi and generals. Mace Windu questions some of Anakin's decisions, at which point Anakin, who is now plenty stressed because Padme is a hostage and wanting to impress Palpatine, turns things on Mace and is like, okay, you're right, the Jedi are clearly our best bet. Perhaps then it should be you who's leading the charge. Maybe you'd like to be in the front lines. Perhaps not the most tactically advantageous move, but it's one driven by emotion, which is something that he's embracing more and more. And now, very briefly, I'd like to halt momentum and discuss how this battle is my alternative to Order 66. Because, let's face it, Order 66 makes no goddamn sense. Like, never mind how ludicrous it sounds that there's a situational order that effectively bombs your own military. The reason that Order 66 is complete BS is what takes place in the Mos Eisley Cantina in A New Hope. If you recall, Luke finds himself in a bit of a confrontation with one of the members at the bar, and Obi-Wan is quick to step in and try to resolve things. However, when things get a little too heated, a lightsaber comes out and he lops off the arm of a dude. Now this is incredibly important because Obi-Wan then doesn't say, oh shit, remember Order 66 which says that all Jedi are enemies to the Republic, maybe we should hightail it out of here and I shouldn't have used the weapon that is a signature of the Jedi. Instead, they mosey on over to Han Solo's booth and continue to conduct business. Even if the cantina is known for housing unsavory sorts, there are strategies who certainly wouldn't want to be bringing attention to yourself like that. So what I'm proposing
You guys see a
is
lightsaber?
to eradicate the
No?
Jedi, as
Alright.
it were, is to more or less have them be cannon fodder to this great battle. If Mace Windu's being placed up front, the Jedi are being placed up front. And with the Separatists bringing their A game, there aren't going to be many survivors on either side. So the Jedi aren't completely eradicated, no, but their numbers are vastly diminished. Anyway, brief aside done, let's continue with story.
Whoa.
After this briefing, Obi-Wan is very
Just means war.
Okay, Daffy.
And Obi-Wan comes to realize that he's still very
Weapon
much
season.
responsible for Anakin's
Duck
well-being.
season.
So now the Republic is on the move, headed to Mustafar to really bring it to the Separatists.
Yeah.
The Separatists have wrangled in all their
Jedi
resources
season.
to meet
Sith
the might
season.
of the Republic. Palpatine and Anakin are giving commands in flight above the planet, and things immediately go crazy on the ground with blaster fire and lightsabers. Now,
How's he
during this
swinging
battle
at?
above the ground, Padme and the Senators have realized that this is a prime opportunity to escape, and they make their way through the Separatist base, accruing weapons and protection as they go. Even though he's far removed from this battle, Anakin is sensing the great amount of anguish and pain
been on this
that
ship
everybody
before?
on the battlefield is experiencing.
Where the weapons
so he
at?
quietly slips away to find a ship to pilot down to the surface. As Anakin sensed, Obi-Wan and the rest of the Jedi are feeling a tremendous strain, and at this point we get to see some casualties up close. One of them being Mace Windu, who now doesn't have a bitch death like in George's version, and actually gets to go down in a blaze of glory. And if we want to add a little more impact to his death, from up on board the ship, Yoda can scowl over the loss of life. But while things
Oh.
look grim, not all
Get your
hope is
little ass
lost, as
down there.
Padme, Lars, and some of the senators
But he
managed to
can't,
overtake
there's a
the Separatist
pacifist.
anti-air guns from
Pacifier.
the now allowing for more troops to land on the ground.
seen the size of my-
Padme and Lars wait
Careful.
on Obi-Wan's
My lightsaber
the rest of the Jedi.
comes out of a lipstick case.
And that they're still alone, and then they rush off in search of commandeering an enemy ship. General Grievous now finds himself
When 800 years old, you reach.
amazed completely. Any contacts
Swing it like
seized now.
nunchucks.
Okay, the Jedi scum in our army have breached our base. What do we do? To which
Hard cut to Michelangelo. Dude.
And right as Anakin lands and starts to run towards the compound,
He trips into the lava.
Anakin is absolutely shell-shocked. So much of his life and his future is gone in an instant, and he charges towards the burning wreckage in an absolute fury in search of
While St. Elmo's Fire is playing.
incredibly hurt, buried under rubble, but alive. And he sees Anakin running towards what's left of the base and makes slow
Chase
turns.
fire.
Anakin runs and jumps through the rubble and eventually comes on Grievous' main
Force head turn.
He's struck by extreme emotion, hatred, grief. It all comes pouring
Grievous.
down on him. And Anakin takes this all out on Grievous' lifeless frame, shredding it. And that's when Obi-Wan reaches him.
Uh-oh.
Obi-Wan tries desperately
What are
to
you
tell Anakin
doing?
that
Don't
Padme-
touch
When Anakin asks Obi-Wan to lead him to her, he can't. And Anakin promptly says, "Oh, I see. Another lie from the man I thought to be a brother."
Oh.
And then he accuses Obi-Wan and the Jedi Council of being intimidated by him and
Those are my animal crackers.
Those are my little crackers.
jealous of his power.
No. My sandwich.
What?
You know what that's from, right? Okay. Because it was on the other day, and I was trying to pull out my phone. And I'm like, yeah, I can't get to it because I was going to record it and send it to you.
And volcano explodes in the background.
You, my. Because Ron's like, what?
And Obi-Wan's like, "Yo, I don't know what Palpatine's been telling you, but that's some crazy talk." And Anakin laughs. It's not crazy. For the
I'm not crazy.
I'm not crazy. You're crazy.
information, but now nobody's my master.
It's the audio.
Get out of my way. Anakin lunges at Obi-Wan, and what we get now is one of the most emotionally fueled battles yet, with vastly different motivations for each of our fighters. Anakin's fight is fueled by rage, trying to kill the traitorous Obi-Wan, while Obi-Wan is looking to disarm and reconcile, while weighed down with the tires of war and remorse at letting Anakin slip so far. And this battle should not be a bunch of spectacle. We don't need swinging on chains, balancing on pipes, floating lava hover carrying things, because it's a friendship properly reflected in the arena in which they now fight. And as they sink towards doom, Obi-Wan recognizes that Anakin's swings are weighted with hatred, leaving him unbalanced and exposed. Anakin's aggression and arrogance can be turned in on itself, leading to Obi-Wan sadly besting his Padawan, making it a very bittersweet victory, as Obi-Wan ultimately wants Anakin to die as he forces his name. A more positive victory, however, is being felt by Palpatine up above. They did it, they crushed those separatists, hurrah, hurrah. In the midst of this celebration,
Hey,
Yoda
in an
interrupts the
economy
child
like this, you gotta
and what starts as some
recycle.
refusal from Yoda, it becomes abundantly clear that Yoda has realized that Palpatine is the orchestrator of this whole thing and is in fact a Sith Lord. What's worse is Yoda has also come to the realization that there's not much that he can do were he to attack Palpatine. That be seen as treason and jeopardize the lives of the few remaining Jedi. However, if he does nothing, well, in both cases he realizes that he loses. But similarly, at least in this more public setting, Yoda can't be outright attacked by Palpatine. So more or less Yoda gets a smile at Palpatine and say, "This shit ain't over." Or, I'm sorry, "Over this shit ain't." Shit. Down on the surface, Obi-Wan is ragged and forlorn. In a haze, he reaches out to Yoda as Yoda drifts into exile. The two clue one another into what's...
I'm sorry. Your call cannot be completed as dialed. Oh, I'm sorry. Your call completed by dialed is not.
It's fired, and Obi-Wan asks, "What are we going to do?
screwed that up.
How are
It
we
worked.
going to take out the Sith?"
You did the same thing, you're
Yoda
fine.
replies, "This isn't our fight. Like the Sith takeover, this overthrow will need to be internal."
Who is this?
But
New
we
phone
know
it
how
is.
to play. We just must be patient. Take care, Obi-Wan Kenobi. There is
Take
still
my
much
own-
that you have to do. And before Obi-Wan can get clarification as to what, the haze clears and he sees in front of him Padme and Owen, and he rushes to them as they leave the surface. And now we get a quick bit of light action as Owen pilots the Separatist ship to the Republic's armada, as Obi-Wan recounts all the grisly details of what's transpired and how they've all been played. And this
You
also
cut
marks
off
the
his
start of the
hand?
line that Anakin died in battle at the hands of the dark side. Naturally, Padme laments the loss of Anakin, and it only gets worse as she wants nothing to do with this corrupt Republic. The only silver lining she can see is that she, Lars, and Obi-Wan are presumed dead. So now they can quietly reach out to Padme's brother, Bail
Well, this Cialis isn't working.
the Republic, but is in their good graces, and they can operate quietly in isolation in the hidden Gungan city. But there is a hitch. The good news that Anakin never received from Padme, and is that Padme's pregnant. So now on Alderaan, Obi-Wan, Lars, and Padme discuss the fate of the child. Padme naturally wants to take care of the child, but she also doesn't want to endanger it. Obi-Wan then offers to take the child, and perhaps he can train it. But it's at this point that Owen just loses it. Oh my god, neither of you are fit to raise a child. Just look at Padme and Anakin. You with your politics and you with your ass-backwards wizardry.
Ass-backward wizardry.
Power, because he didn't know what other path there was. Couldn't you see that he was just a man? Give me the child, and I'll make sure that it's not exposed to any of this. And Padme and Obi-Wan realize, yeah, they really messed things up. And as that reality sinks in, music swells as we montage what the future holds for everyone. We see Palpatine being hailed a hero and granted yet more power. Padme, now
Land speeder.
having given up so much. And Owen, now with the infant Luke Skywalker, returning to Tatooine, the place he swore he'd never go back to. All seems grim in that galaxy far, far away.
So that's Owen.
But destiny is not.
Oh, I gotta raise this kid.
For there is an ebb and flow to the Force. And the Force will be with
So
us.
do you have any Grey Poupon?
And that's how we end episode 3. So now, here we are. Starting it.
Yeah, okay. So what do we think?
Yeah.
Would that have worked
That was pretty epic.
far
yeah.
better than what George gave us? Maybe, possibly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, the whole pregnant thing, she got not
Yep.
fat. She got that bump real quick. I mean, from when like, I've had wonderful news. I'm pregnant. This is the most. Well, this is the most wonderful news. Of my life.
Yeah, that's better.
Hello, Wooden.
Hello, darling.
Nice to see you.
In a long time. So, if you enjoyed or have any deviation to this, or would like to add or subtract or multiply or divide, please do so in the description below. You take care, and we'll see you on the next Thursday. Random episode of something.
Something.
Fail compilation. We're going to do some compilations.
There you go.
So I think instead of random day, it's going to be just like the Outpost Laugh Day
There you go.
or whatever the hell this was.
Bring a little
So
joy
enjoy
to the
yourselves.
world. See you soon.